We live in a society that often rewards illusions, rewards fake it till you make it, hustle, grind, but that's not sustainable for you. That's going to burn you out, exhaust you, run you amok, lead you astray. When you learn to center your ease and let your ease lead you, money follows. Money follows ease, not the other way around. Most people think that ease is something you earn after money. In my experience, when your life is organized around ease, money becomes simpler, more consistent, less dramatic, and less traumatic. Hi, friends. Welcome. My name is Elle, also known as the Empress of Ease and the creator of the House of Ease, where I help ambitious, high achieving, but exhausted women create softer, sweeter, more ease filled lives. I live in Bangkok, Thailand, where I live a life of ease and joy. People often think when I say ease that it's laziness, that it's just kicking up your heels and doing nothing and life just falls into place. And while life does fall into place, ease is not effortless. Ease requires intention. It requires effort. It's a structural decision and it changes how money shows up in your life. Inside capitalism, most of us are taught that our value, our worthiness, and our sense of ease comes from efforting, overdoing, overgiving, proving, hustling, grinding, exhausting, and eventually burning out. And once we have proven ourselves, sacrificed and suffered and shrunken enough, then we can finally have some ease and our money will come. We sacrifice and suffer for a job, for a career, for education, for all these things that we're told will be worth it in the end, and that money will come. But what if I told you that's actually not a requirement? It actually makes you more of a cog in the machine so that even if you do all the quote unquote right things and you finally get the money that you deserve, often you're going to be so exhausted, so burnt out, so tired that you won't actually be able to enjoy it. You're going to be too exhausted, too burnt out, too overworked to just enjoy the fruits of your labor. The real work is centering and creating your life structured around ease so that you can make money on your own terms from a place of ease. When you decide how much you charge, who your clients are, what you do, your money is going to come so much easier than when you are suffering, self-sacrificing, shrinking in order to make money in someone else's system. When you give yourself permission to make your own system and center your ease inside of it, money is going to come so much easier and so much faster to you. If you're at a job that you hate just for the paycheck, when you do the internal alignment work, not only will you probably leave the job unless the organization or the institution or the business is willing to adjust to you, whatever you decide to do next, even if you go into another job, you're going to go into a job, into a role, into a position that's so much more aligned to you because you are aligned to yourself and you hold the standard of what you will allow, what you will accept, and more importantly, what you are creating. If you decide not to go into another job, if you decide, oh, I actually want to make money on my own terms, in my own way, in my own business, then you start to get so crystal clear about how you can best serve your clients, how you can best make money, what to charge, how to talk about your work, who you support, because you're in your own ease, which means you're not selling, you're not marketing, you're not having a business from a place of need, of urgency, of desperation. You've created a business and you're serving your clientele from a place of your own ease, which is ultimately what you want to be hired for. People are going to want a taste of that. But we live in a society that often rewards illusions, rewards fake it till you make it, hustle, grind, but that's not sustainable for you. That's going to burn you out, exhaust you, run you amok, lead you astray. When you learn to center your ease and let your ease lead you, money follows. Money follows ease, not the other way around. And then when you have more money, you can even have more ease. I love flying first class, domestically, internationally. Put me in a business suite, baby. Let me close the door and lie down. I have to have money to be able to pay for that. That's not something that most airlines are going to give for free. I have been upgraded to international first class before. Don't get me wrong. It has happened. But it's not something I rely on because more often than not, I have to pay for it. With a business that's rooted in my ease and my regulated nervous system and my boundaries and my standards for myself, for my offerings, for my clients hire me because they want my gifts. They want who I am. They want how I can help them transform their lives. They pay me well. And in them paying me well, I can pay for first class plane tickets, which creates more ease, more leisure, more luxury in my life. But it was rooted in a place of ease. If I were running my business from a place of urgency, of hustle, of grind, of pressure, of stress, do, go, 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 I would attract a different clientele who resonated with that. I don't want a clientele who resonates with hustle and grind and push and go because I don't want nobody pushing me. And I'm not going to push you because I'm regulated in my ease and my life is evidence of my ease. My clients hire me because they want lives of ease as well. Now, of course, you don't have to be in the ease business. You could be in any business. But don't you find that you hire people, you go back to people, you value businesses and companies and services that don't feel grabby and needy and beggy, but feel very aligned and well regulated and give you the choice to decide if you want to hire them or not? That's what happens when you're in your ease. There's no urgency. There's no pressure. You get to trust the process. And sometimes that does require suspended disbelief. Say your bank account doesn't look like you want it to look. I've had moments where my bank account didn't look exactly like I want it to look, but ease was still the center of my life. You got to know your shortcomings. For example, I don't like to cook, but I love to eat. I don't like to clean house, but I love a clean home. So what do? I have weekly meal prep delivery services. They deliver 10 meals a week to me in Bangkok. My house cleaner comes every Sunday. I love being supported with ease. I love paying people to do work that I do not want to do. I love to receive from a place of ease. This supports my nervous system so that, again, when I'm in my business, when I'm creating offerings, when I'm getting on the calls, when I'm creating for my business, it's coming from joy, expansion, ease, pleasure, sweetness, and softness, as opposed to need, desperation, groping energy. I've had a coaching and consulting business for over 20 years. And for the last 10 years, at least, my schedule has been very consistent and structured according to what works for my energy and my nervous system. For example, I don't take client calls on Monday, ever. I don't take client calls before 11:30. I don't wake up with an alarm clock. This allows me to have my slow mornings to come into my days exactly as I like, exactly as feels good to me, so that when I do have my client calls, I'm fully present, I'm accounted for, I'm listening, I'm aligned, I'm here, and I can give the best service to my clients because I set it up to work on my energy, my schedule, and my time. I also have deliberately taken incredible care of my nervous system so that when I speak to my clients, I am well regulated, which allows me to pay attention to what they're saying and what they're not saying so that we can go into the deep dives that my work allows. And I can support them in accomplishing their goals and living their lives from a place of ease instead of exhaustion. Now, if I were fried, died, and laid to the side, if I were exhausted, if I were burnt out, and I was running from pillar to post trying to run a business, and I get on the calls with my clients and I'm distracted and I'm exhausted and I can't feel what's actually happening in their energy and I can't give my clear, directed guidance and wisdom that is so priceless, or if I were locked into people pleasing and wanting to make sure that they liked me and approved of me, I wouldn't be able to give them the direct, clear, aligned feedback and guidance that they've hired me for. And that's because I've intentionally and deliberately created my entire life around my ease so that when I show up in my business, I am 100% at my best. 100% in my ease allows me to make money, which also allows me to attract the best clients because they're attracted to my well-regulated nervous system. They know I'm a truth teller. They know I'm not a people pleaser. They know I'm not a kowtower. My clients hire me because they want someone to tell them the truth and guide them into living their own embodied truth with ease. If they're in jobs or relationships that they hate or that exhaust them, in the long run, after our work together of their internal alignment work, They often leave the jobs and leave the relationship. Now, I don't advertise that that's what's going to happen as a result of our work together. But when you get internally aligned and internally in your truth and internally in your wisdom, your external life that doesn't support that is going to inevitably change. I work privately with women who are creating lives that hold their sweetness and hold their ease while also making money. Details are below. If you want to continue this conversation and go even deeper, check out this video right here. I think you will thoroughly enjoy it, and I will see you there. Bye for now.